Hi there. My name is John Stevens. I'm pastor of Zion Lutheran Church in Oregon City, Oregon, and we are part of the ELCA. And welcome to Dollar Store Children's Sermons, where we take a look at the lectionary text and we tie them to an item from the Dollar Tree or the junk drawer or the kids' room or the garage. That's how we've been doing it. Thank you for spending a little bit of your week with me in this way, and thank you for the love that you are sharing with your kids and your families and your congregation. You are rocking it. Thank you. This is for the narrative lectionary, and we are looking at the Luke 16, 19 to 31, that story of Lazarus and the rich man. Lazarus is in the entryway, the archway of the rich man's house, and we've got it's like even the dogs came and licked his sores. Man, isn't that a cheery story? Anyway, I'm pulling back up my notes. There we are. So interesting story, and there's a lot of things that you could work with in this. You've got both of them die, and you've got Lazarus, and so we've got Lazarus who's named, and the rich man we never hear their name. You have, then it mentions that Lazarus was the beggar. The beggar is carried off to be with the angels and Abraham. I mean, and the rich man is buried. So it's like, boom. And so we've got this separation and all of this. And then this weird conversation happens where the rich man still thinks that he has the right. He never had the right, but he still assumes and thinks that he has the right to order people around. Hey, tell that person to do me this, and this strange conversation. So, two springboards. One is using the old children's game or setup where you take two paper cups and you put a string, and I find the string, the twine that you get in the barbecue section or the cooking section of Safeway or Kroger's or any of those stores that you use to bind the chicken or the roast. It's this twine that works really well for this, where you tape one of the strings, tape it to the cup. You would tape it to the bottom here. This is an example. Use a paper cup, works well, or a tin can, and you tape it here, or you poke a hole and you string it through so it's solid, but then I tape it down. And then when you have the two cups, my coffee and a coffee, two cups, and that's tightly together, you get a version of a walkie-talkie. Sorry, getting really close to you. Hello. See my eye color? Anyway, so you get that walkie-talkie going on where you can actually hear, and it's really neat. And if the kids haven't seen it and haven't played with it, that's fascinating as well. It's strange how that all works, and this is a very strange conversation about this. So, and you could use that to start the conversation about how there's this conversation that happens between the rich man, and the rich man's really trying to order everybody around, but yeah. And so there's that, and that's a direction, and I like that we could start there, and then that moves in to names, and maybe perhaps using that, and you've got that long string, and you have a kid holding onto that, and you call them by name. You say, Peter, and you're whispering, Peter. And Peter can hear it. And I'm using Peter as an example because my son is home from spring break and he's sitting in a table right behind here. I can't flip this around without stopping it, but he's waving, he's cheering. He says, you guys are rocking it. He did say that. Yes, he said that. He is really there. So anyway, doing all that to see him smile because he's such a sad child. No, he's not a sad child. Anyway, he's not even a child anymore. Going to be turning 23 in October. That's crazy. Anyway, moving on with that. We're back to the cups where you could whisper the kid's name. And if you have 5 or 6 kids, you could do each one of their names. I'm going to whisper something to you. See if you can hear it. And you stretch it tight and you whisper, Peter. Whisper, John. And they can hear it. And you they could probably hear it because you're not going to be that far away. They can hear you just whisper it, but they can also hear it in the cup. And talk about how in this parable, in this story, God knows Lazarus' name. God knows the beggar's name, the one who is in need, the one who is laying in the entryway, the one who gets stepped over by the world. God knows their name. God knows our names and the power of the name. I remember as a kid with, I knew that if my middle name got used, I should pay attention because it's usually because I did something wrong. John Warren Stevens, and the power of the name. But when God uses our name, that name is full of grace and love, and we are called into relationship. That God knows our names. So I like, that's the direction I like to go with this. So anyway, I'm hoping this can be a springboard for your own children's sermon. Again, thank you so much for spending a little bit of your week with me in this way. And thank you again for the love that you are sharing with your kids and your congregation and your families. You are rocking it. All right? We'll see you next week. Peace.